So it's been announced, Tyson Fury's next, I'm going to say contest as opposed to fight, is going to be on October 31st against Braun Strowman at WWE Crown Jewel. Is it in... No, it's in Saudi Arabia. Is that King Fahd Stadium? Is that where AJ Ruiz is happening? I'm not sure. Tyson Fury in WWE, and he's taking on Braun Strowman, who is a very big man, judging by the picture. There's footage of them having their face-to-face. It was actually Bob Arum who announced this fight. There was a kind of WWE press conference, quote-unquote. I think it's on one of their shows. Bob Arum came out, addressed the fans, and said the next fight will be Tyson Fury versus Braun Strowman at WWE Crown Jewel in Saudi Arabia. Obviously, Tyson Fury got up on stage, got up on the mic. It's funny, do you know that? You watch Tyson Fury, because I'm not really a WWE fan. I watched it back in the day when I was a kid, but for the last, God knows how many years, I've never really paid any attention to it. I do know WWE is PG. That's one thing I do know. And I know when I watched it when I was younger, it wasn't. And seeing Tyson Fury in an environment, WWE environment, you'd think it would suit him, but it's PG and it's scripted. So Tyson Fury, when he's up there on stage, when he's on the show, he just looks, I say looks, but it just comes across as very forced, very strange. And you're waiting for Tyson Fury to really let loose. But you know deep down he can't, because they're PG. If he lets loose and starts saying, Braun Strowman's a fuck, he's a useless fuck, he's a dosser, he'll probably be, they probably won't even let him on the show anymore. So it's very weird seeing Tyson Fury. He's trying to build it and get out there and let himself kind of go like he would with Deontay Wilder. But I think he's thinking to himself as well, A, it's scripted, and B, if I really go in on this guy, I'm going to get into shit because it's PG. There's kids everywhere in the audience, and, he's not allowed to be that way. So I think it's kind of weird seeing Tyson Fury like that. But in terms of him against Braun, it's not a real fight, okay? Is it boxing? Is it wrestling? I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not a real fight. So there's no fear of Tyson Fury's eye. There's no fear of him not being ready for Deontay Wilder. It's completely scripted, as we all know. But I'm just curious. I'm not saying curious. I think that this is a great move from Tyson Fury in terms of doing the WWE stuff. Because if you look at it like this, right? The audience they have in the States is quite big. WWE is very popular. It's not a sport necessarily, but it's a very popular kind of show. Gets a lot of viewing figures, gets a lot of fans tune into the events. I'm sure this event's going to have a nice little... It's pay-per-view, I think, is it? I'm not sure. Someone let me know if it's pay-per-view or not. But if it is pay-per-view, I'm sure it's going to get a lot of viewing figures, going to get a lot of people tuning in. So this is going to do wonders for building Tyson Fury's profile in the United States. I mean, look at Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's been on WWE TV, okay? Evander Holyfield has been on WWE TV. Floyd Mayweather, I was a kind of fan of wrestling when he fought Big Show. Back at one of the WrestleManias, I forget, it was years ago now. But it done good for their images. It boosts them. So Tyson Fury doing this, it's going to build his name more. Put it like this, right? Tyson Fury appearing on WWE Crown Jewel and fighting Braun Strowman in a whatever you call it, contest. It's going to do more for Tyson Fury's profile in the States than him against Tom Schwartz or him against Otto Allen combined it. Okay, it's a bit like his brother Tommy going on Love Island. He's going to come back into the ring with more people knowing him because he was on a show like Love Island. It's the same thing with Tyson Fury. If he fights in America next year, whether it be against Deontay Wilder or whether it be against, say, Kubrat Pulev, people who are WWE fans would tune in to watch Tyson Fury because they know, hang on, that's the guy who fought Braun Strowman in Saudi Arabia. That's the guy who was on TV, doing all the security, restraining them and all this. So it's going to do wonders for him, building his profile, which is what it's about at the end of the day. And I think it's a good idea. I think obviously Bob Arum, being there kind of makes it seem a bit more real because you have the boxing promoter and then you have I think they had Triple H for WWE there. So it kind of felt a bit more real. At the end of the day, it's not a real fight. We know that. We know it's scripted. We know the WWE decide who are going to win, who are going to lose. Probably Tyson Fury wins. Who knows what's going to happen. Obviously, if this was a real boxing match, if this happened under Marcus of Queensberry rules, Braun Strowman probably wouldn't last around with Tyson Fury. But it's scripted. It's under God knows what rules. But to be honest with you, it's fun. There's no point complaining. I mean, Dylan White was kind of right in a sense. There's no point complaining. This is a bit of fun. It's a good PR move from Tyson Fury. And I hope he gets paid well for it. I think them WWE people do tend to get paid very well. So, it's a good move from Tyson Fury. It'll build his profile in America. I do think Tyson Fury does need to come back to the UK, because I think that, as Hatman has said in some of his videos, there's a gap there from Anthony Joshua losing, which I think Tyson Fury could fill. So I do think it's a shame he got that eye injury, because if he had imagine this, imagine he done this WWE show and then his eye was, say, not cut in his last fight, and he came back and had a fight in the UK, we'll say in December. Imagine the viewing figures Fury would get. Imagine the popularity in the States tuning in and in the UK. It'd be amazing. Obviously, we're not going to get that because that eye is going to take some healing. But this is a fun little job. It's, it's good for PR. It's going to get his name out in America. I hope he gets well paid. I'm not against this. I think it's a bit of fun. At the end of the day, it's not a real fight. It's not being billed. Well, I'm sure WWE build it as a real fight, but the people who know it's not a real fight. It's just a bit of fun. So I think, let them have it. That's my thoughts on this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you let me know what you think. What do you think? Will you be tuning into this? I've never paid for a WWE show. Will not be paying for this. If I can, will I stream it? Maybe. Let me know what you think down below. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I will talk to you after.